Hello and welcome to Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda and today we're bringing you another video on what to do with your strings and crumbs. Now I got this idea from Carolyn from Kodiak Quilting. What she does is she makes a footstool and leaves it in the side of her sewing room, and then she fills it up with all the little bits that you get from quilting, right? You know, all the stuff that you're throwing in the landfill. Well, with this idea, you don't have to have it in a landfill. But I took her idea and I made it my own. Now her Instagram is going to be in the show notes below, so go follow her because she does lots of fun stuff with her quilting. But all you're going to need for today to make your footstool is newspaper and a fun triangle, 60-degree triangle. Okay, come on in closer, we'll do some sewing. Okay, this morning I got my spouse to go out and get a newspaper because I didn't have paper that was big enough. I now have a 12.5-inch ruler. Now it'll finish at 12 inches, right? So basically I'm going to cut along all three sides. Now if you don't have one of these rulers, cut with your 60-degree. Like use your 60-degree lines here to, lay out your the first cut, and then cut 12.5 inches long, right? And that way you'll get the same results. It's a footstool, so it's not that precise thing. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut this first and pull all 6 layers. I'm doing 6 layers at a time. And excuse me if I get in your way, I'm just going to trim along the edge. And there we go. There's my 6 for the top. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this right down on the next cut. And I'm just going to cut right through like that and like that. So I have 6 layers of this. And now I have 6 patterns. So I have 6 pieces here that I'm now going to cut and arrange here. So this is the top and the bottom. So come back, we'll show you what we do with these pieces for your pattern. Okay, so what you're going to do here is you're going to lay these out, matching your points, and now you've got your tape. This is just the quickest way to make a pattern of what you're going to do, right? So you just tape it along. It doesn't have to be precise because you are just making a pattern. You're not, you could use this then to, piece your strings on, but you're going to do all 6, and then we'll see where. And then I'll show you what you do once you get all 6 of them taped up together. There we go. Just get a little bit more tape on these. One in the center. Okay. And I'll meet you back here when we're done taping all 6 together. Okay, so now you've got both your top and your bottom sewn together, or taped together, and you've laid them on top of each other, and you're trying to match up your points the best you can, right? I mean, basically, this is kind of like a real rough idea. So now, you're going to take a ruler, and you're going to line up this edge here along with the point here, and you're going to cut right to the point, but don't go past. Then you're going to go like this to the point, line up your line here and down. So, and then the last one, oh, don't move. We'll just move that out of the way. So now the last one, you're gonna make sure you're all lined up just so, and you've got a good line up here on the far side, and you're gonna go right through that point, and you're gonna cut like this. So now you should have 6 of these shapes, right? 6 of them. So 3 will be for the top and 3 will be for the bottom. Now, that's just the top and the bottom. Let's start cutting the sides. Okay, just to make this a little easier, I'm going to trim off the edge. Now I've got some pretty sturdy Carolyn interfacing or whatever that's been kicking around my sewing room forever, and it's time for it to go. So what I've got to do is I'm going to measure out 12.5 inches of stuff. There we go. I just straightened that far edge, and I'm just going to cut it into 12.5 inch strips for now. Just making sure that it's all lined up. Yes, it is. So there's one strip. I'll pull this up and get the next strip up. Okay. And like I say, this has been kicking around in my sewing room for so long, it's actually becoming annoying. So if you don't have this kind of Carolyn or something like this, what you can use is you can just double bat your I'm going to put a layer of batting. So I'm 12.5 inches. And I'm going to put the ruler on this side, just to make sure. Yeah, it's 12.5 inches. There we go. Get that out of the way. And this stuff also is sticky, right? So, you know, in case you're wondering, like I said, I used to make clothes eons ago. It seems like in a dreamland far, far away now. So, but I don't make clothes anymore. So I'm just going to make this. Okay, that's 12.5. Go up, slide down. Okay, so this is my waist. Alright, so now this, once I've got them in 12.5 inch strips, I want them as long as possible. So I'm going to line them all up. And normally a footstool is like, you know, as high as the middle of your knee, right? That would be the most comfortable footstool. I have a little bit of nerve damage, so I want my footstools a little higher. And this is 22 and a half. So I want this. I'm just going to cut them all the same length of there. I'm just going to cut off this top here, just to where it's all getting rid of where it's all wrinkled and been folded for decades. So it's now going to measure, let's see, 21 and a half, right? So this is also waist. So this is our pattern for our footstool. Now you notice we stayed with that 12.5 inch measurement, right? Because this is 12.5. This ruler here was 12.5. So what's going to happen is this is going to go around the top, right? So you've got 6 panels of this. You cut now 6 more batting pieces to fit, and then we start sewing. Okay, let me get my batting scraps. Okay, now we take our batting, and I've just pulled a scrap out of the bucket, and I'm going to just trim this off, just like so. We're going to make the width the same height as this. So, and this interfacing that I'm using right now has got a shiny side and a dull side, and the shiny side will stick to the batting once it's ironed in place. So basically you're quilting it as you go. Okay, and now this isn't quite big enough. Of course not, it's too small. And I take that and we open it up like this. We cut a nice clean trim bit off. There we go. There we go. And now we cut as many as we can out of this piece, but we need 6. So keep that in mind when you're cutting. You need 6 of this. And you just line it up. It doesn't have to be perfectly perfect. It just has to be good. Okay. Okay, so that's 2. And we're going to move this up. No, I don't have enough for 4 or for 6, but I have enough for 4. And there's another 2. Almost, but not quite. I have to get a little bit more batting. So, here we go. Okay, and I'll come back and I'll show you when I've got all 6 of these cut. Okay, so there's your pattern. You've got 3 of these shapes for the top and the bottom, right? Now, it's a footstool. Don't start panicking over stuff, right? You are going to use this as a template guide for string piecing. And you've got 6 of them to do. So for me, I'm going to make my top and bottom black because it's going to be either on the floor or people's feet are going to be on it, and grandchildren tend to push footstools all over the place. So I've got 6 of these. Now we made this with 6 60-degree triangle rulers. That was a 12.5-inch ruler, unfinished, 12-inch finished. So these are fairly big, and they can be trimmed down if need be. 3 on top, 3 on the bottom, or 6 on top and bottom, and then you cut them, and then you make 3, right? Okay, we have 6 colors, 6 panels of batting, and 6 panels of interfacing that I'm just dying to get rid of out of my stash, out of my sewing room, because I don't sew clothes anymore. So this interfacing is got a soft side, like an unsticky side, and this has got a sticky side. So the shiny side is the sticky. You don't have to have it sticky, right? But you would then iron on the batting onto the sticky side so it stays in shape and keeps its shape correctly, right? So you're going to be doing strings. Now I'm going to suggest you do, once you got this ironed on, well, iron on your batting, or if you don't have this lining and you want a stiffer product on it for a footstool, you just use 2 pieces of batting, scrap batting, right? So I would suggest you do your strings this way, right? Make them 12.5. This way is going to be really hard unless you've got really long strings, right? So, and remember, you can use your poverty piecing. Now when I'm doing, okay, poverty piecing, just to recap, poverty piecing is putting 2 colors or strings together, doesn't matter if they're the same string color family or not, and that are about the same width, and putting them together and using them as a string. Okay, just so everybody's on the same page. You can use whatever you need to here. I am going to work in color families, so my footstool will be black on top and bottom and then rainbow colored all the way around, because I have grandchildren and it's going in the toy room. So that's what I'm going to be doing with mine. So we'll meet you here back next week just to show you how I'm doing the string piecing on the panels, the sides of the footstool. And you can make this footstool a little shorter if you want, and the string piecing along this. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun to get it done and show you what we're doing, okay? You take care. I hope you have an absolutely fabulous week and have fun getting this together. It's going to be really an adorable project. Okay, see ya. Bye. Thank you for watching our video today. We are just overjoyed with how our channel has grown. And we would like you to share, like, and subscribe these videos with your friends and other people. This is one of the quilts that we might are considering at this time to do a sew along for. It is a crazy original scrappy design that was made with too much coffee and too many granola bars, and it's a lot of fun to do, and it is a really good scrap buster. So share, like, subscribe, tell your friends about us. Our plan for 2022 is 2 different sew-alongs for sure, and 2 different case studies. And we're going to do try and do a thing on grouping on strings and crumbs, and then another one on curves. So we've got rather an ambitious 2022 planned for you here. So, like I say, I hope you come back. Have a great week ahead, and we'll talk to you later. Bye!